When a sniper looks through his scope, do you actually know what's stopping him from firing? Yes, he's trained, he's ready, he has the shot, but behind that hesitation, there's something deeper that almost nobody talks about, and it has nothing to do with fear. We'll get to the most disturbing part at the end. What happened to the snipers who felt nothing? And once you hear it, you'll never see human nature the same way again. 1. It was never about fear. Most people assume it's simple. Combat is terrifying, nerves take over, the body shuts down. But these weren't ordinary soldiers, hand-selected, obsessively trained, psychologically screened. If anyone should have been immune to hesitation, it was them. So why did 98% struggle to fire a second time? Because the freeze had nothing to do with fear of dying. It had everything to do with fear of what they were becoming. Military psychologist Dave Grossman discovered something the Army buried for decades. Human beings have a hardwired resistance to killing their own species, not trained into us, born into us. Wolves fight, but rarely kill each other. Lions submit when pinned instead of fighting to the death. Evolution didn't build killers, evolution built survivors. And a sniper lying motionless in a foxhole watching a man eat breakfast through a scope 600 meters away, his brain stopped seeing a target. It started seeing a person, and every ancient circuit in his nervous system fired at once. Don't do this. This is one of us. The Army could train his hands. They couldn't train away 200,000 years of human wiring. 2. The scope did something nobody expected. Distance is supposed to make killing easier. A bomber pilot never sees the face. An artillery crew never hears the voice. So a sniper operating from hundreds of meters away should have had it easiest of all. But he didn't, because of one invention nobody anticipated would become a psychological weapon against the shooter himself: the scope. That lens, designed to close the distance between bullet and target, also closed the psychological distance between killer and victim. A sniper didn't just shoot a figure on a hillside. He watched the man for hours first, saw him yawn, saw him write a letter home, saw him look up at the same sky the sniper was hiding under. By the time he pulled the trigger, that soldier wasn't the enemy anymore. He was someone the sniper knew, silently, intimately. And then he had to kill him anyway, and then live with having known him. The scope that was supposed to make the shot easier made the aftermath almost unbearable. 3. What happened inside the moment itself? The shot breaks, the target falls, and instantly his body turns against him. Cortisol floods the bloodstream. The hands that were perfectly still during the shot begin to shake. This isn't weakness. This is the body's most ancient alarm system screaming, "You just crossed a line you were never built to cross." And then comes something veterans described in memoirs, therapy sessions, letters they never sent: grief. Not for the mission, for the person in the scope. The brain, once the action was done, dropped every military frame it had been given, and for one unguarded moment, saw only what it always knew: that the figure in the scope had been a person. That person was gone, and they were the reason. 4. The 2%, the payoff. Now, the part I mentioned at the beginning. Grossman's research identified a small subset, roughly 2% of all combat soldiers, who felt no psychological resistance whatsoever. No freeze, no grief, no aftermath. They fired, they moved on, they slept fine. The military decorated them, promoted them, held them up as the ideal soldier. What the public never heard was what psychologists quietly noted in their files. These men didn't represent peak human conditioning. They represented something closer to a clinical profile, the same emotional detachment, the same absence of empathy, that in peacetime would raise serious red flags. In war, those traits earned medals. The Army hadn't found the ideal soldier. It had found the one type of person evolution forgot to give a conscience to, and handed them a rifle. The most effective snipers weren't psychologically stronger than the ones who froze. They were missing something the others had, and nobody celebrated that part of the story. The snipers who broke down, who couldn't pull the trigger a second time, they suffered. Many never recovered, but they were, in a strange and tragic way, the most psychologically whole humans on that battlefield. Their suffering was proof of something. They never stopped being human, even when everything around them demanded they become something else. And the ones who felt nothing? Many came home to exactly that. Not peace, not relief, nothing. So the next time someone calls a soldier who struggled weak, remember this: the struggle was the humanity, and the ones who never struggled at all, that's the part of the story we still don't know how to talk about. Drop a comment, which part hit you hardest? And if you want the real psychology of war, the things history books leave out, subscribe. We're just getting started.